everyone, welcome back to Eastwick Cottage Garden. Today is the beginning of October and I actually missed the end of September garden tour. I did start filming some things and it started raining, and so I just decided to hold off on it and just get it when the weather's a little bit better. So I just really want to say that my thoughts and prayers are with everyone who is affected by Hurricane Helene and their families. And I really, my heart goes out to you guys, and I pray that things are going to get better for you and that you guys are safe and that you can get the help that you need. So today we're going to do a little bit of a garden walk to show you what is blooming in the garden, what's dying back in the garden, and just kind of have an overview of things that are happening. We've gotten some headway on our new flower bed, so I wanted to show you guys that, and then just to do a general walk around because it's been a while. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around and we're just going to get going. We're just going to go ahead and get started in the immersive garden space. Things are definitely dying back in here. Facing the end of the season, this is our phenomenal lavender. This is the oldest one that we have, and it's by far the biggest and doing the best. Just coming around here on the path, you can kind of do an overview and see that things are not too many blooms in the garden at this point. We do have some buds on the key lime pie dianthus, and a little bit of remaining buds on the Paquito orange akastaki. Things are really going to be coming down to get cut back later in the year, later in the season. I want to keep as many seed heads up as I can for the wildlife. You can see here, this is one of the key lime pie dianthus. We didn't see any swallowtail butterflies as a result of the butterfly laying eggs in here on the bishop's goutweed. So I'm going to come in here and try to clear that out a bit so that it doesn't become even more of a nuisance than it already is. We have a few remaining beefsteak tomatoes. We have one remaining pepper. This is the orange blaze bell pepper, which were very good. I got several of them this year. They're very good. I will plant them again. And we just have some scraggliness on our remaining tomato plants. Some of these that are the sun sugar tomatoes, just a few remaining. And the flavor isn't as great because the sun's not on them like they used to be. We could see our rogue or volunteer tomato plant still has a lot of tomatoes on it. A lot of them split when we got the little bit of rain this past week. So I might have some more volunteer tomato plants coming up next year if the tomatoes fall off. And we can see here, there's a lot of flowers still on here, a lot of growth. But our lavender down here that we planted is doing amazingly well. Very excited about that. And here is our planter, our container that we had for the coleus and the Biden's campfire marshmallow. This is done. So I'm going to be pulling this and getting some violas and pansies and maybe some celosia to put in its place. So you can see that I need to get in here and do a bit of weeding. This is bindweed. We need to get this out of here, cut that down. But the kaleidoscope abelia has really taken off this year. Very impressive. It's been really nice to have in flower arrangements. And we still have some flowers and some buds on our knockout roses. They're doing really well. I need to cut back the ivy here and then do some trimming on the knockout roses so I can actually get to the path. As you can see, it's pretty covered. I'm going to be coming in and harvesting a bunch of these. This is the little lime hydrangea, and it did really well this year. It's putting on its really pretty pink coloring. So I'm going to cut these back and dry them, and then I can have them in the house throughout the winter. And you can see here that our black-eyed Susans, our Rudbeckia, there's only a few scarce blooms on them, and I'm leaving the seed heads up for the for the birds to have in the winter. So we have just a tiny, tiny bit of color, but this is very pretty here. Are the knockout rose. They're really pretty. But as you can see, pretty much everything is dying back. Our Heliopsis is done. The tops of the Shasta daisies are done, so I want to cut them back eventually and just leave the green to overwinter. We do still have a few blooms on this balloon flower over here and a little bit of blooms on the phlox back here. So coming around, I definitely have to come in here and cut back through here. My leg is feeling a little bit better. I am going to the doctor next week to see what's going on with that, but it is easier for me to move around, so I think it's on the mend a bit. But as you can see, in this immersive space, things are winding down. And then there's Riley, and he's been sick, but he's better now. His belly's all dirty. He just got a haircut and a little bit of a bath. And he's now got mulch all over him, but he's doing a lot better. So there he is. So coming around the front of the immersive garden, we just have, this is Paprika heuchera growing, and I'm really, really happy with these junipers. This one, I'm telling you, was really sad. It was in the front. It was only about this tall, about 2 years ago, only about this tall, and bent over, and now it has really shot up and done really well. So I'm happy about that. So coming here, we have our hellebore leaves that will be evergreen throughout the winter. And then we also have our zebra grass, which is very tall at this moment. It's about 8 to 10 feet tall. I would really like to put some more of these in the garden space. I really love the fronds. They're very beautiful, and I love the way they move in the wind. So coming around here, Jeff was here yesterday, and we have added a lot of space to this new flower bed area. So as you can see the old hose that we used to kind of mark out how I wanted the curve to be, and the curve is going to continue on the other side. It's kind of be like a scallop. So I need to get more mulch. You can see that the mulch pile is almost non-existent, so probably going to get more compost to put down for this area to be over winter. So this is our no dig method cardboard compost mulch to create this new flower bed in this area. So I'm very excited about what this is going to be in the coming season. Coming in the front flower bed, I'm very, very, very happy overall with what this bed did this year, and I'm looking for kind of some more ideas of what to do with it next year. I do intend to plant some bulbs in here this fall so that we'll have some early spring color and activity in this bed. And you can see that we have our mums starting to put out their blooms, more so on the back side, which is fine because this is the side I see out the window. But these four are all the same kind of mum, and the colors vary between kind of like a yellow and a peach and an orange. And as they mature, the blooms fade and get lighter and lighter. And they're really, really pretty. So I'm very excited to have all these four to put on a color display. The Living Easy Rose did really, really well. I put out a bunch of new blooms, and I'm not going to deadhead them because I really would like to see what kind of rose hips I get with this. We could use them in arrangements as well. We have our barbecue rosemary here, the purple sage, the lemon thyme, all did exceptionally well in this space this year. So it's coming around, and the zinnias, they're like a showstopper. They're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I did get blooms on this. This is a frostproof gardenia. This one bloomed for me. This one is a little bit of a has a little struggle problem there. So I've been babying it and putting a lot of water on it, which seems to be helping. But hopefully it lasts throughout the winter and we'll be able to get some beautiful flowers next year. But this is this garden space, and there's Riley barking because he can't see me anymore. And the Diamond Spire, no, sorry, that's not this. This is the Sunjoy Barberry is getting ready to put on its orange coloring for the fall. And this for the maple border, very happy with the way it looks with the mulch, still battling bindweed, but I think I'm going to put some bulbs in here as well. There are bulbs of muscari or grape hyacinth, but I think I would like to add some taller bulbs kind of in the middle of the border so that we have some early activity in the spring. And coming back to the grape orchard border, this bed is really coming into its own, and I'm very excited about all the growth that happened this year. I can't wait for, the leaves fall, and then we'll be left with the beautiful red of the red twig dogwood. And just look at this. This is the popcorn drift rose. And look at this little bouquet. It looks like a perfect bouquet. It's gorgeous. Overall, I am happy with the Artemisia wormwood silver mound. I think I need to kind of just be a little more vigilant about cutting it back so it can grow back in. You can see that there's some growth in the center there. But overall, cutting it back, thanks for the tip. Kind of saved it because I was going to pull it because it was terrible. But I'm really happy the way it looks now. And the Walker's Low catmint that we planted is doing really, really, really well. All three of them have been blooming all summer and put on a lot of growth. We still have a few blooms on the dianthus. This is the Firestar dianthus, which have a few blooms on that. But again, dianthus is evergreen, so we'll have this green mat all winter long. So coming through, the yarrow that we cut back almost to the ground is definitely coming back with a vengeance. I'm very interested to see if maybe we get a few bloom spikes on it. Not sure, but it'll be interesting to see. And as you can see, this is the Prince Henry Japanese anemone, and all of the plants are bloomed and they look really, really beautiful blowing in the wind. I can see them from the office window while I'm working. So this is our Midnight Model Salvia back here. It's doing well. I did some deadheading of it. The bees are still on it. I saw some yesterday, still on it. And doing well. We have some remains of our fresco apricot echinacea in this bed. So I did have a little bit of an issue with 2 of these phenomenal lavenders. So I'm going to leave them, see what happens next year, see if they can rally back, or I might have to replace them. This one in the back here is doing great, but these 2 might need to be replaced, but we'll see. And as you can see, these are the 3 Coronation Gold Yarrow that we cut back, and they are coming back again. And I think we have the green all winter long, which will be lovely to add some color and texture in this space. And we have this mum. My wonderful friend Carol gave me this mum, and it is starting to do its thing. I've still been pulling some strawberries. You can see a few in here. And then I put a cloche on, so I've actually been getting strawberries because the squirrels were having them. But this cloche is wonderful. It's very big and it's pretty lightweight. It's not super light. It doesn't blow around, but it's light enough that I can, lift it off when I want to harvest strawberries. And it's been really good. It also looks really nice in the garden space. Coming back here to our not really autumn gold or fall gold raspberries. They are the regular raspberries, but they have been raspberrying. And I've actually been having some. They don't taste terrible. They don't taste horrible. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. I will be trying to look for some real true fall gold raspberries to put in the space. I need to do some weeding back here, but you can see that this is the rose called the Pilgrim. It's a yellow climbing rose, and it is all the way over here and all the way over here. So I kind of just wanted to take over this fence and just be all over it with billowing yellow flowers. So back here, this area needs a little bit of help. We did good with our candy stripe coreopsis. For 2 of them, I think these 2 might not have gotten enough sun. So we'll see about moving them. The cherry brandy rudbeckia started out really well, and we'll see what happens next year. This year was the first year it was in the ground. We'll see what happens. I do need to do some weeding back here quite a bit. But this is the Party Lights osmanthus, which has grown a lot this year. It should be about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, so should cover up this space. And I did notice, where did I notice it? I noticed that, I hope somebody didn't take it, on one of these are big blue liriope, and one of them, on one of the blades, had a praying, oh, there it is. I think this is it. A praying mantis egg sac. So if you see this in your garden, that is a good thing. This is good. You want to keep that. If you have spider and lanternfly, their egg sacs are flat, and usually on hard surfaces. The praying mantis ones can be on hard surfaces too, but they are raised, as you saw there. So don't get rid of them. You want them in your garden. We have honeysuckle that is blooming still, or blooming again, I should say. So I can smell it in the air, which is really nice. So coming around this area, we have some blooms on. This is the mock orange, which I keep threatening to pull out, but it is putting out some second blooms for the fall, which is kind of nice. And this plant, this is the plant that will not die. This is the goji berry plant. And I've been trying to, I thought it was a weed, tried to kill it, didn't die. I also have some pokeweed in here that I need to come out. Trimmed it all the way back, and it is coming back in full form. And it just has the sweetest little pink flowers that smell really, really good, and the bees absolutely love them. And this is actually, as you can see here, there's a honeybee. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, he's flying away. Let's see if we can see it in there. I don't know if you can see it flying around. But there's a honeybee in there. They absolutely love them. And these are the goji berries that people put in their smoothies. So I'm glad to have it in here. I don't know if you can see the honeybee flying around. Glad to have it now that I know what it is. And we'll see if we can keep it looking healthy. That's the goal, to keep it looking healthy. But there's lots of flowers, so there should be quite a number of berries. They come out in the winter, but you can see here that the bees are still all over it. And it's very nice to have in the garden as part of the orchard. Okay, so coming back here, we're headed towards the woodland garden area. So I have another of the zebra grass back here. It doesn't get as much sun, so we don't have as much zebra on it, and it's a little bit shorter. But I pulled all this bindweed from back in here. So this is going on the compost bin. I'm letting it die down some first. But it's going on the compost bin. But here in this area, we still have our ivy, and we have the hostas, and all of our ferns, and our heucheras and heucherellas. I am going to come in here and trim some things back so that the plants have some space, because we have some crabgrass here, so I'm going to kind of remove that so that the other plants can have a chance. And I do need to come back here and do some weeding. But I also wanted to show you that the viburnum that we planted earlier is hanging in there, doing its thing. So eventually this will be about 8 to 10 feet tall, and it's evergreen, so it'll be nice to have this feature in the back of this garden. Just wanted to show you the back side of this rogue tomato that has a lot of fruit on it. As I said, a few of them, quite a bit have split in the rain, but the others are still good. So we'll be pulling fruit off of that until it's done. Okay, so an update on Lazarus. I've taken the cloche off of Lazarus because he's doing really, really, really well. So I'm wondering next year maybe we'll be able to get some figs off of it. I am leaving the hairpin just in case, just so we know where he lives, just in case his leaves die back. But we're also, for our Canadese grapevine, all the old leaves fell off. We have a new flush of leaves. It's done really well, so hopefully next year we will be able to have some wonderful grapes as a result of this. Coming back here to the deck steps beds, they have done amazingly well this season, and I'm really pleased with having the annual aspect in the garden with the Superbena pink cashmere and the lantana, bandana pink lantana. I think they look amazing. We have a ton of growth that happened on the Tiny Wine 9 bark, and also with the popcorn drift roses here. And we had a lot of the blue color with our Azure Rush geranium. And this is the Cat's Pajamas Nepeta down here. And also the Peter Cottontail yarrow that we have. The Helenia were amazing this year. I'm going to leave the seed heads up to see what the birds do with that. That one's kind of dying back. It really needs heat to survive. I'm also pulling the Super Bean of Pink Cashmere, even though it has some blooms on it. It is done for the year. It really likes to have hot weather. The lantana I think will last till the frost, but I'm going to come in and get some violas and pansies and put in the space to see what they do over winter into the early spring. I think that will be nice, an aspect to have in there while we're waiting for the other things to come into life. And I did poo-poo at the salvia, but it has kind of redeemed itself. This one is kind of taken off and providing some really pretty color, so I do like them. These are annuals as well. These are annual salvia. But overall, the beds look really great. The chick charms on this side have a bunch of baby chicks that are growing a lot. I actually have one remaining little baby chick over here somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. And then I also see that I got a little bit of my sedum that is spread as well. But we have a little baby chick right there. So hopefully it'll remain and be beautiful in the seasons coming up. But you can see, and also here we have the fresco apricot echinacea back in here as well. And then we have the pennisetum with its beautiful little flower plumes. And I don't know if you can see, there's a bumblebee getting ready to have a snack. So I just wanted to jump on here and do a little walk around of the garden, show you what's been happening, show you what's blooming, what's dying back, and showing you some of the future plans that we have for the garden space. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're getting a chance to get in your garden. What kind of new things are you going to plan for next year? Do you have any ideas that you're toying with, that you're going to try to work through over the winter? I have a bunch of bulbs that are coming, so we're going to be doing some bulb planting in probably at the end of October, early November. So that'll be something new to put in, because I would like to incorporate more bulbs into the actual flower beds themselves. I guess that's it for now. So I'm going to be just kind of puttering around in the garden space, and I'll be filming as I go along. I hope your gardens are doing great, and I hope your families are safe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.